Hey, we often work with sets of data stored in an array. With the new Angular Signals feature, we can work with an array as a signal. That gives us better reactivity and improved change detection. In this video, we walk through how to create a signal that contains an array, and then update that signal, inserting, updating, and deleting items in that array. If you are completely new to signals, check out my Angular Signals What, Why, and How video. Let's jump in and work with arrays and signals. As my side hustle, I sell Star Wars vehicles. Are you in the market for a speeder? Using my product application, I click on a vehicle and see the vehicle detail, along with this Add to Cart button. But that button doesn't currently work. Let's implement a cart using a signal. Looking at the code, we'll start with a cart.ts file. We see that a cart item includes the vehicle in the cart plus the quantity to purchase. That makes sense. The user will select the vehicle they want and the quantity of that vehicle to purchase. Next, let's look at the cart service. There isn't much here. Let's fix that. First, we want a signal for our cart, which will be the array of cart items. So cart items equal signal. I'll use the VS Code quick fix to add the import for signal. A signal needs an initial value. When the user begins, the cart is empty, so let's set an initial value of an empty array. Hovering over cart items, we see that the signal contains a never array. That's not what we want. Let's use the generic parameter to specify that the signal holds a cart item array. Now we can write the code for the Add to Cart method. How do we add the provided vehicle to our cart? Let's try this. We read the array from the signal, then use the array push method to add a new cart item. The new cart item has the selected vehicle and a quantity of 1. Will it work? Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Let's keep going and see why. I'll make one more change before we try it. We want to show the number of items in the cart as a badge in the menu. So in the app.component.ts file, I'll add a computed signal for our cart count. We'll read the cart items array from the cart service, then use the array reduce method. That method loops through the items in the array. For each item, it takes in the accumulated total and the item. We use those values to total the quantity of each item in the cart. The last argument is 0 to start the total from 0. Let's try it. Run. Start debugging. Pick Vehicle List. Select a vehicle and click Add to Cart. Notice our count badge doesn't appear next to our cart menu item. Select another vehicle and click Add to Cart. Our count still doesn't appear. Click on Cart, and we do see our vehicles. So our array is updating, but our count badge does not. Let's go back to the code. In the app.component.ts file, we're using a computed signal to calculate the cart count. That computed signal is scheduled to be re-executed anytime any of its dependent signals change. In this example, it's watching for changes to the cart item signal. Going back to the service, we're updating the array in the signal, but we aren't updating the signal itself. To get the full reactivity and change detection benefits of signal, we must change the signal. For that, we use the signal set or update methods. And we treat our array as immutable, meaning we don't ever modify the array. Rather, we create a new array from the existing array and set or update the signal with that new array. Let's delete the code we have and instead use this .cartItems.update. That way we're sure to update the signal. The update method provides the array of items. We use that array of items to create a new array. We first copy the array using the spread operator. Then we add the new cart item with the provided vehicle and an initial quantity of 1. The signal is then updated to contain this new array. Will that work? Going back to the browser, pick Vehicle List, select a vehicle, and click Add to Cart. And we see our badge. It shows we have one item in our cart. Our computed signal reacted to the cart item signal change and recomputed. Let's add another one. Select a vehicle and click Add to Cart. Now our badge says 2. Click on Cart and we see the 2 items in the cart. Going back to the code, we do something similar to remove an item from the cart. I'll paste the code. Here we again use the signal update method. It provides the items in the cart. The array filter method creates a new array from an existing array, copying over all but the item the user selected to remove, effectively filtering out or removing the item from the cart. The signal is then updated to contain this new array. While we're here, let's add code to update the quantity. Let's think through this. For the signal to provide a change notification, we create a new array. As we create that new array, we loop through each item in the cart, find the one the user is updating, then change that item's quantity. I'll paste the code. We again use the signal update method, which provides the items in the cart. The array map method loops through each element of the original array and creates a new array. If the element vehicle matches the updated vehicle, we change the quantity before adding it to the new array. The signal is then updated to contain this new array. Let's try it. Going back to the browser, pick Vehicle List, select a vehicle, and click Add to Cart. Select another vehicle, and click Add to Cart. We now have 2 vehicles in the cart. Click on Cart, and we see the 2 vehicles. Click the Delete button. The item is deleted, and our cart badge is recalculated. Adjust the quantity, and we see the cart badge and the extended price recalculated. We'll implement the cart totals in a future video. The key point from this video: for computed signals and change detection to be notified of changes to a signal, we must change the signal. When working with an array and a signal, use immutability techniques to change the array by creating a new array, and use the signal set or update methods to store that new array in the signal. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.